Don't text her, don't call her, and don't look for her. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now, and that every instinct you have is pointing in the exact opposite direction, toward doing something, saying something, reaching out one more time with the right words that might finally make her understand or make her change her mind. That instinct feels so natural because it comes from a genuine place. You care about her. You don't want to lose her. And doing nothing feels like giving up on something that still matters to you. But here's what nobody tells you about that instinct. It's working against you. Every text you send that she doesn't respond to with genuine warmth, every call she lets ring out, every time you show up somewhere hoping to accidentally cross her path, none of it is bringing her closer. It's pushing her further. It's confirming a decision she had already quietly made. And it's costing you something you cannot afford to keep spending: your dignity and your self-respect. The hardest truth about this situation is also the most freeing one. You have already done enough. She knows how you feel. And now the most powerful thing you can do, the thing that actually has a chance of changing anything, is nothing. Today, I want to explain exactly why, and what you can do instead. She already knows how you feel. You don't need to say it again. This is the part that most men struggle to accept because it feels counterintuitive. It feels like if you could just find the right words, the right moment, the right way to explain how you feel, something would shift. She would finally understand the depth of what you're offering and respond differently. And so the texts keep coming. The calls keep happening. The conversations keep circling back to the same place. But here's what's actually true. She already knows. She knew before you said it the first time, and she knows now. Women are extraordinarily attuned to how the men around them feel. They pick it up in your energy, your behavior, the way you look at them, the way you show up. By the time most men work up the courage to express their feelings directly, the woman has already been aware of those feelings for a while. Your declaration was not new information. It was confirmation of something she had already processed, which means that saying it again, in a different way, with more detail, with more vulnerability, with more urgency, is not going to produce a different result. The information hasn't changed, only the delivery has. And delivery alone has never changed someone's feelings. Think about it honestly from the other direction. Has anyone ever changed how you felt about them by repeatedly telling you how much they liked you after you'd already decided you weren't interested? Or did the persistence make you feel more certain about your decision, not less? That's exactly what's happening from her side. Every repeated expression of your feelings, every follow-up message, every attempt to revisit the conversation is not making her reconsider. It's making her more certain. It's making her more relieved about the distance she's already created. You've said what needed to be said. She heard it. Now the most dignified and most effective thing you can do is let it sit and let her decide what she does with it on her own terms. Now, let's talk about why chasing actually makes everything worse. Not the opposite. There is a psychological principle at work here that most men are never told about. And once you understand it clearly, it changes everything about how you respond to this situation. When a woman has pulled back, lost interest, or made a decision to create distance, what she needs in that moment, whether she consciously realizes it or not, is space. Not more of you. Space from you. And the reason for that is simpler than most people expect. She cannot miss you if you never leave. Missing someone requires absence. It requires a gap where something used to be. A silence where there was previously noise. An emptiness where there was previously presence. And that gap, when it appears naturally and without you engineering it, does something to the human brain that no amount of persistent contact ever could. It creates longing. It surfaces feelings that were buried under the comfort of constant availability. It forces an honest reckoning with what was actually there. But when you chase, when you fill every potential gap with another text, another call, another attempt to keep the connection alive through sheer persistence, you remove the very conditions under which she might have started to miss you. You make yourself so consistently present that there is no space for absence to do its work. And worse, you shift the dynamic in a direction that makes attraction almost impossible to rebuild. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Chasing communicates need, and need, however genuine and human it is, reads as low value to the part of a woman's psychology that governs attraction. It signals that your emotional stability is contingent on her response, that you cannot regulate yourself without her involvement. And that signal, however unfair it might feel, quietly erodes whatever attraction was present. The man who stops chasing does something completely different. He communicates, without saying a single word, that he has a life worth returning to. And that is considerably more attractive than any message he could have sent. Now I want to give you a run-through of what your no contact actually does to her. This is the part most men don't fully believe until they experience it firsthand. Because when you're in the middle of it, when you've gone quiet, when you've stopped reaching out, when the silence is sitting heavily on your end, it can feel like nothing is happening. Like you're just waiting in the dark while she gets on with her life completely unbothered. And that feeling makes men break. They convince themselves that she's forgotten about them, moved on effortlessly, never thinks about them. And so they reach out. And in doing so, they undo everything the silence was quietly building. Here's what's actually happening on her end when you go silent. In the first few days, she probably doesn't think much of it. She's used to you being available, used to your messages arriving, used to you being the one who keeps the connection alive. The silence registers, but it's easy to explain away. He's probably just giving me space. He'll text soon. Then a few more days pass and you haven't. And something starts to shift. The absence becomes more noticeable. She checks your profile, not because she planned to, but because the silence created a curiosity she didn't expect. She starts wondering what you're doing, whether you're okay, whether the version of you that was always there has genuinely decided to stop being there. And this is where it gets psychologically significant. The human brain places enormous value on things it perceives as potentially lost. What felt ordinary and available suddenly feels significant in its absence. The texts she was slow to respond to, the calls she let go to voicemail, the connection she was taking for granted. All of it starts to look different when it's no longer there on demand. She might not reach out. That's the honest truth, and it's worth naming. Some women won't, either because the feelings genuinely aren't strong enough or because her pride won't allow it. But many will. Not because you manipulated her into it, but because absence created a space that her own feelings rushed in to fill. Either way, the silence gives you something chasing never could. It gives you clarity. You find out exactly where you stand without having to ask. And clarity, however uncomfortable it sometimes arrives, is always more useful than the false hope that comes from keeping a connection artificially alive through one-sided effort. Now, let's talk about how you can handle a situation where you still have to see her. This is where the advice gets more specific and more immediately useful, because the reality is that not every situation allows for clean, complete disappearance. Sometimes she's a colleague. Sometimes she's in your social circle. Sometimes there are children involved, shared responsibilities, unavoidable overlaps in your daily life. And in those situations, the question isn't whether you'll see her, it's how you show up when you do. The biggest mistake men make in this scenario is going to one of two extremes. Either they overcorrect into obvious coldness, refusing to make eye contact, giving clipped one-word responses, radiating a hurt energy that broadcasts to everyone in the room that something happened and that it's still affecting them. Or they overcorrect in the other direction, being overly warm and attentive in a way that signals they're still trying, still hoping, still invested in producing a particular reaction from her. Both of those extremes tell the same story. They tell her that she still has power over your emotional state, and that is the last thing you want to communicate. What you're aiming for is something much more specific and much more powerful. Genuine, warm neutrality. Think about someone in your life that you have no particular feelings toward, not someone you dislike, just a neutral acquaintance, someone you'd greet pleasantly in a hallway, have a brief friendly exchange with, and then carry on with your day without giving it another thought. That is exactly the energy you want to bring to interactions with her. Picture this. You're at work and you pass her near the coffee machine. She says, "Good morning." You smile naturally, say good morning back, maybe a brief, casual comment about something completely unrelated to either of you, and then you move on with your day. You don't linger. You don't look for more from the interaction. You don't manufacture reasons to extend it. You have the exchange, and you walk away first. That last part matters more than it sounds. The person who ends the conversation holds a quiet power in the dynamic. And every time you're the one who walks away first, calmly, without drama, without looking back. You're communicating something she will feel even if she can't articulate what it is. You are no longer waiting for her. And that changes everything. How to know when to move on completely. This is the question that eventually arrives for every man who has gone through this process honestly. How long do you wait? How do you know when the silence has run its course and the answer is simply that she's not coming back? And how do you make peace with that and actually move forward rather than just telling yourself you have while secretly holding the door open? Here's the honest answer. You don't set a timer. Moving on completely isn't a decision you make on a specific date. It's something that happens gradually when you've genuinely been investing in your own life, enough that the outcome of this particular situation stops feeling like the thing everything else depends on. You'll know you've reached that place not because you've forced yourself to stop caring, but because you wake up one day and realize you haven't thought about her first thing in the morning. That's not something you manufacture. It's something that happens naturally when your life has enough in it that she's no longer the loudest thing in the room. What accelerates that process more than anything else is honest self-reflection. Not self-blame, not obsessive analysis of everything that went wrong, but genuine, useful reflection on what you learned. What patterns did you bring into this that you want to understand better? What did you ignore early on that you shouldn't have? What would you do differently, not to get her back, but to show up better in the next significant relationship you enter? That reflection is genuinely valuable. It's the thing that ensures this experience produces something useful, rather than just something painful. And when someone new enters your life, who genuinely reciprocates your energy, who chooses you clearly and consistently without you having to wonder, you'll understand completely why this one didn't work out, not with bitterness, just with clarity. Lastly, what to do with yourself in the meantime. This is the section that separates the men who genuinely move forward from the men who do no contact as a strategy while secretly spending every day waiting for her to come back. And that distinction matters enormously because one of those approaches produces real growth and genuine peace, while the other is just chasing dressed up in silence. No contact only works in the fullest sense when you're actually living your life during it. Not performing the appearance of living your life for her benefit. Not doing things so you have something to post that she might see. But genuinely redirecting the energy you were pouring into her back into yourself. Your goals, your friendships, your physical health, the things that made you interesting and grounded before she became the center of your attention. This matters for two reasons. The first is obvious. You feel better. The fog that comes with obsessing over one person and one situation starts to lift when your life has other things worth showing up for. The days stop revolving around whether she's going to reach out and start revolving around what you're actually building. The second reason is less obvious but arguably more important. The version of you that is genuinely busy, genuinely focused, genuinely engaged with his own life is considerably more attractive than the version sitting by his phone waiting for a notification. And women can feel the difference, not through surveillance, but through the quiet shift in energy that happens when a man stops needing something from them and starts living fully without it. So this is the time to pick something back up that you let slide. A goal you put on hold, a friendship you've been neglecting, a physical discipline that makes you feel strong and clear-headed, something that existed before her and will continue to exist after this. Because the best outcome of this entire situation, whether she comes back or doesn't, is a version of you that needed this period to become someone better. Don't waste it waiting. Use it becoming. I want to leave you with something simple because I think simple is what actually sticks. Don't text her. Don't call her. Don't look for her. Not because it's a game, not because you're trying to manipulate an outcome, but because you have already said what needed to be said and done what needed to be done. And your energy, your time, and your self-respect are worth more than being spent on someone who hasn't chosen you clearly. The right woman, the one who is genuinely meant to be in your life, will not need to be chased into staying. She will not need 17 follow-up messages to realize your value. She will not need you to show up at her door to be reminded of what she has. She will simply choose you, consistently, clearly, without you having to wonder where you stand. Until that person arrives, your only job is to become someone worth choosing. To build a life so full and so genuinely yours that whoever enters it next is walking into something real. Drop a comment below and tell me where you are in this situation right now. A like helps this channel grow, and if you're not subscribed yet, come join us. I'll see you in the next one.